And that gets to be... No, wait. Okay, now desktop audio is on, so y'all can be heard as well. Hi and welcome.
Before. Oh, hello.
Listen, I have my snowball set up as its own thing, and then desktop audio, that is how it's divided most of the time, so...
That's fair. I also have that.
Yeah, I should go back to, like, figuring out how to separate Discord from the rest of the desktop audio, but, no. Not right now.
That's a lot of effort.
That is a lot of effort, and I'm tired. Anyway, hi, and welcome to Fictional Murders You Probably Haven't Heard Of, True Crime Not. Today's episode is 2 Electric Boogaloo, in which I'm the only one who came prepared to my own goddamn quote-unquote podcast.
Yay!
Also, what the fuck?
What?
Yeah. No problem.
Oh shit,
What
I
did he
default
do?
Mega's chat now, actually. Hassel paid me money.
Wow,
Also, I
cool.
was gifted tier 1s. God.
Nice.
This isn't allowed.
There is thunder in my background. And I'm technically under tornado watch, but who cares?
What?
Wow. Thank you, Maslow, for the tier 1 sub.
No problem.
I wish
Now
JJ
then
was
all of a
here.
sudden- Now your internet son is subscribed again.
Yeah. Now you don't have to watch ads. Also, hi, Jax. And also, for the clarification, I live in Oklahoma. Every so often, especially during, like, the spring months, tornado watches just happen.
Fair enough, I guess.
Yeah. And also, for those who don't know, well, for those who are on my stream and not his, Ben is also streaming. So, we're just gonna be talking about 2 different subjects all the time.
Yeah. It's ideal.
Yeah. And, because of my art crit stuff, I will not be streaming my art stuff today, and instead be hopefully distracting y'all with words of hilarity. Maybe.
I
I
believe
do love to see how this is supposed to work, so I think I got a fictional murder in mind to show how
Okay.
much of a weeb I am.
Fair enough.
Oh,
But
yeah.
To be fair, it is my turn to show how much of a weeb I am, since I apparently came here prepared. So I'm gonna be talking about Fantasy XIV because I have a problem and I'm not seeking to fix it, but also, y'all get to hear about it. So, spoilers for, like, the ending of A Realm Reborn expansion, which is basically the first part of the story. So, I got framed for an assassination.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Not again.
Yeah. Again. Last time I talked about assassination attempts, I was on purposely doing it. But this time I was framed. So basically, in Final Fantasy XIV, you run around as the Warrior of Light. And you basically go around saving the day and all that. And so one of the running jokes in it is that you can never get a goddamn break. Everything continues to happen and there's no breaks. And whenever a character says, you deserve a break, the next quest line is like, oh shit, things are getting fucked up. Can you help? And it's like, yeah. And so one of those things was, basically, we recently were able to get into contact and start opening up the sort of blocked off community of what is essentially a bunch of anti-dragon people. And they're very powerful allies to have, but they've also been, like, keeping to themselves for the most part. So, it's a very big deal that I was able to, like, get them to start working with us because I went and helped them with their big thing. And so, there was essentially a party that was going to go on in which some of the leaders from there, well, the main leader and some of his people, well, he's not even the main leader, he's one of the people, and he gets to be there along with like the leaders of the other countries that you have been working with. And tensions are kind of high between a lot of people, mostly in our team, because like, god damn it, there's just so much, can we not? But also, this is the perfect opportunity to introduce this person with the leaders of the other place. And it's like, we want a break, but also, even though this is technically a break, it's also not a break. So, even when we get there, it's like, oh, apparently the person from the Waking Sands, which is essentially the little Central Adventurers Guild hub / bar place, said that there's a message for me, specifically, and so my character gets to run off and go deal with that, before also having been invited by the Sultana herself, which is basically the princess of the Ul'dah and all that, which is one of the main countries. And so basically I get sent on this like entire tale thing where I go from one place to another, being sent around. Basically I get to the Waking Sand. She tells me that one of the Crystal Braves there wanted me to go meet her. And so I go there. She's not there. I stand there and have to click destination 3 times because just to show off, like, she's not showing up, but you have noticed something glittering on the ground, and it is a bottle with the remains of a liquid that it turns out when you go back to the Quaking Sands that even the lady there doesn't know what it is, but suggests that I keep it on my person, just in case. And while I had been waiting at that spot, one of the other Crystal Braves, which is an organization of warriors that we had hand-selected, kind of, in order to, like, help out with all of the many fucking problems that, the group that I'm mostly a part of and is technically having the celebration for is, we need a lot of help, but also, like, the main group, it's, like, a handful of us and then some other NPCs. So then, the Crystal Brave on Pearl there is like, yeah, I haven't seen her, I definitely would have seen her, and then, like, you're like, okay, and then you go to walk back to the Waking Sands, and then in the cutscene, he watches us walk off, presses a hand to his ear, and mutters something that we're not told, and then walks off. I think I just heard the front door open because of the wind. 1 goddamn second. I'll be right back.
That is so fair.
Because I can hear the rain.
No, not the rain.
You got it?
Fucking water's letting itself in. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we should probably lock it so that it doesn't open up again. Or at least if it does, it doesn't open up as wide. And also just...
Lock it.
Damn it, forgot where I had him. Where's his stupid suit? There it is. I was right, okay.
Well, it's a good thing we didn't go out today, huh?
Yeah.
Was I right? No, I wasn't. Never mind. Confidence shattered.
I'm sorry, son. I'm
Hello.
afraid it's, hello.
I'm back.
Hello.
The water
Welcome
was
back.
letting itself in.
Oh, gross. How dare it?
Yes, how dare indeed. What were you saying?
Oh, I was
I was
just
gonna say he was asking, I was gonna say your son has to pay an art tax. He forgot what stuff looks like.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I guess I deserve it or something.
I guess. Anyway. Where was
also,
I?
at some point, I think Charlie also has a fictional murder that didn't really happen.
Ooh. Nice.
As, I don't know, a warning or something. Anyways, sorry, continue.
Yeah. If Charlie wants to join
You,
later, he has access to this channel.
Fair enough.
But anyway. So, I left off on one of the Crystal Braves walking off, right?
Yes, I believe so.
And so basically, we go back to Waking Sand. We do the things I already described. The mysterious bottle is with questionable liquid is now on my person. And so now I have to go and talk to the little princess lady, who is a Lalafell, who's very small, and she has pink hair, and she's cute, and she's trying to do her best.
I believe in her.
I believe in her too. But, so we go to her room. And so we get to have like a little tea party with her where she explains that she's going to try and turn into a republic, I believe? Yeah, the little potato princess. She's so good. I can't remember. Nominee? Something like that. A lot of Lalafells tend to have like repeating syllables in their names, but I can't remember. At least 2 letters repeat, usually in a row. I can't remember hers. So basically, we're talking with her where she's saying, like, she's gonna turn it into, like, a true republic instead of being the kind of monarchy thing that's going on already. And she knows that it's going to be a lot, and that it's going to do some chaos in the city and all that, along with, like, everything else that's going on. But she wants us to promise to basically be there for her main guard guy. I'm forgetting his name off the top of my head. Fair enough. We need to get you to progress in the story. Last I saw you were stuck in Gridania. So basically, there's this big guy, who is, I don't remember how pronounced their race, Rogan or something? They're kind of like people, but very big, and their nose structure is different.
I'm about to be like, they're kind of like people, but they're not. Anyway.
That's basically it. They're like people, so much that if you're not knowing what to look for, you could accidentally confuse them for just being a bigger person. Which I have done for one of the other leaders who is the same race, but she's white. Not like just pale, she is white.
Oh.
Anyway, so we basically promised that we're going to help out the dude who will be suffering a lot from the change and stuff, and is also her, like, bestest friend and protector. And so we're like, yeah, we'll help him out. And then she takes a drink and starts choking on the stuff because it's poisoned. And so we get to watch her choke out and then fall to the ground and go still while our character's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And then an asshole walks in with a group of his personal assholes and accuses us of poisoning her. And so we get surrounded and tied up and then brought down to the party room and thrown in front of everyone. And, like, I get publicly accused of being a poisoner. And so that tumbles down all sorts of things because then it turns out the big guy gets extremely pissed because of it, and he realizes that the little Lalafell asshole is behind directly poisoning her. And also, here's the thing about the politics of this place, is that most of it is, there's like 2 social distinctions in the city. The people who are basically the monetarists, and then I don't remember what the other people are called, but they're essentially not the money people. And so, as you can guess, the little asshole is a monetarist, trying to vie for power and all that. And so he goes down, and then another one basically acts out in surprise, which turns out that little guy, who I can't remember his name either.
Names are optional.
Names are optional. He's also involved, but for a different end, and also isn't behind murdering her, but that's for later in the story. Teleji Ajaleji, which is the one who's accusing us of being an assassin, gets murdered by the big cool guy. And then, he goes to attack the other one, and then one of the people who was the closest to you in the Crystal Braves, he's a fucking traitor.
Oh.
Yeah, so, long story short, he was friends with the other guy, but he views him as becoming weak and the Sultan as lapdog. And he betrays you, the entire Waking Dawn Order, which is, everyone who wasn't just a Crystal Brave. So everyone within that. And, helped theoretically assassinate the princess. And so he cuts off his friend's arm, well, his ex-friend's arm, and was also planting evidence on you that you assassinated the princess with this mysterious bottle that you picked out, which apparently had traces of poison in it, or something that could be confused as poison. Not really sure, never got to identify the stuff myself. And so that leads to its own entire thing, and so, all of the Rising Stones, Waking Dawn Rising Stones, we give a bunch of different names. We're Scions, and the Scions all get accused of being enemies of the state. And so, yeah. And also the other two leaders get rushed out of the scene because it's taking a really bloody turn. And also the closed off people had left earlier in the party before the reveal of me being accused of assassination. And so an entire thing goes down. Basically, I'm cut free by the cool guy who didn't believe that I was guilty in the first place, and I thank him for it every day. But he also gets his arm cut off in the scuttle while the rest of us are running the fuck away. And as the cutscene goes on and on, more of the team gets left behind until it's just you getting free. And what had also been happening is that there's this 17-year-old boy who is from an influential family with wealth from a place that I can't remember, and I've never seen his father, but he has a twin sister. So he was also mainly in charge of the Crystal Braves and even was the leading force behind creating them. He also gets betrayed. And with luck and the help from the man's adopted son, who is a Lalafell, with beautiful hair and freckles, he helps get Alphino out of there. Yeah, the kids from the beginning. And, yeah, the kids from the beginning who were sleeping on the ride. And thanks to you mentioning that, the merchant who was also on the beginning ride shows up and helps get us the fuck out of there. So we get onto his cart and speed the fuck out to get away from the city. So it's just us the merchant guy, us, the kid from the beginning, and this Lalafell, who is the son of the guy who just lost his arm, along with whoever the fuck is driving the cart. So we get to have this entire ordeal where Alphino is just being, like, sad because, like, everything he's been working for in order to try and fix all the problems is not working out. Yeah. We both knew that. Like, they're too uniquely designed and their outfits are way too specific to be just random characters sleeping in the cart. So I would also like to inform y'all that this cutscene was taking over half an hour. And then you get to find another character, Sid, who basically has a flying airship of his own. And we meet up with him and get our asses the fuck out of Ul'dah and over into an icy hellscape that is very anti-dragons, but is also far enough away and also has the reputation of being unhelpful to outside forces. So if the people came up trying to find us there, they wouldn't get any help from the locals. Yeah, every Final Fantasy game has its own Sid, but this time it's Sid with a C instead of an S. And he is a mechanic. Well, a goldsmith. But That makes no difference in this world. Mechanics are essentially goldsmiths. Because they tinker
Mango,
around.
you just described a show. Oh, hello.
Yeah, except that it's the beginning, except that it's the first expansion of the game's ending. There was more to before this. And then I could, yeah, I can even get on to the entire story of, like, everything else that happened to defeating a Power Ranger-esque looking guy villain. There was a lot. There's, like, an entire, like, other country that has a bunch of, like, main villain people who look like Power Ranger-esque villains.
Good.
I don't know. I haven't played a lot of Final Fantasy XIV. And isn't the Sid in there also kind of a mechanic? Wasn't he working on rockets? I don't know. I'm not an expert. I just had to sit through over half an hour worth of cutscenes right after each other, and even when you escape them for a little bit, you have to go right into some more because you're starting the next expansion.
Oh boy. Pro tip, don't play Genshin, that's all there is.
Yeah.
Good news, I'm not playing Genshin.
Good.
Bad news, I am playing Final Fantasy XIV, which is very addicting in its own ways.
Fair enough.
Anyway, it also turns out later into the expansion that I'm in, is that the lady we were accused of assassinating might not even be dead. Yeah, you remember that other little Lolfa asshole that I couldn't remember the name of? Yeah, apparently he heard plans of what the first little Lolfa asshole was doing and switched out the poison with the help of the handmaid in order to be something more closer to a coma.
Oh, great, it's the plot of Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, except not. Yeah. And so he's also very aware of the fact that, like, she was planning on turning it into a republic instead of leaving it as a monarchy with, like, these other people also having very much power in it. And so, from what I understand of the plan is that instead of announcing her quote-unquote death, he's just telling people that she's taken ill, and also that's the reason why our companions haven't been put on trial and murder yet, is because there's technically no evidence that an assassination has even happened, and so we still are allowed to go running around in the city that accused us of as an assassination.
Hey, Charlie.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
She just took a break.
Hello.
That's what happened. Which game did this happen in?
Final Fantasy XIV.
Final Fantasy 14, of course.
You know, the game that I've been playing a lot of recently.
No, that doesn't sound familiar.
No, of course not.
No.
Definitely not the one where I'm just obsessed with being a pretty little boy. Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Definitely
This
not.
sounds like you just described to me like a season of a show.
Yeah.
Technically, that's kind of how game expansions work online. That's just a season of the show. Now on to the next season. And the thing is that I'm behind, technically, because of, like, how late I've gotten into this game. And then there's other expansions I still haven't played yet.
It's funny to think that there's older players that are just like, oh yeah, the assassination plot, that was like 12 plots ago. Come on, catch up.
Yeah, anyway, that's what I was, that's the murder I wanted to talk about. The one that technically didn't even happen.
Well, I mean,
I love that.
Well, to be
Fair enough.
fair, murder did happen. Just not of the Sultana. The
No.
little Teleji Edgeleji. Fuck that guy, he's dead now. Good.
For me, I feel like that's salt in the wounds of like, I get accused of a murder that didn't even happen.
Yeah. But
You
I
know
will
what?
commit
I'd be
many
fine
other
with that.
murders. I will commit many other murders. Just not that one.
Yeah, listen. If I'm gonna be accused of a crime, I want the crime to have, happened.
Yeah, if you're going to accuse me of murder, select someone I've already killed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a video game. There's a long list.
Yeah. Ranging
That's
from
fine, that one's
animals
gone.
to people to technically other characters if you play PvP.
I think
Also,
that
like,
was.
yeah,
Oh, sorry.
no, you're fine. I was gonna say, I also like the idea of like a character being accused of murder, and you're gonna have to, you're like, where they just go and, or they're like, yeah, who was this now? And they just keep trying to describe, I'm like, hold on, just gotta go through the list of all the people you've killed.
Yeah, it's a very long
Was
list.
it him?
Yeah.
Like, you get accused of killing one specific NPC, and you're like, which one? All of them are the same goddamn model.
So what's funny about that is I haven't played any of the Last of Us games, but that was a part of the several controversies of the sequel. Was that they had it so Joel killed a specific NPC whose family wanted revenge on him.
Oh no.
And that's how like the second game opens, is that like, oh whoops, it turns out that one of the people you murdered, like, they didn't like that, their family didn't like that you did a murder, and they made it canon. And I thought that was honestly hilarious, because you kill so many people in that game. You can
Yeah.
easily just pick up one and it's just like, yeah, this one has consequences now. Good luck.
That really how it be in games where there's a sequel. Where it's like, yeah, this doesn't matter at this
Yeah.
moment. There's like no real consequences. Wait, we've decided there's consequences, but not for specifically the game that you played before where you killed the character in it. It's in the next one.
I think like one of the reasons why people were kind of annoyed by that. I mean, one is because like
Indistinguishable.
it does feel kind of arbitrary. Yeah, it's indistinguishable. Like, oh, you mean like one of the doctors at the very end of the game turned out to be plot relevant? Cool. Too bad they all have the same model, so I can't tell you which one's important, which one's not. But I think that like the other thing that kind of rubbed people the wrong way is that technically you don't actually have to kill those NPCs. You can just kind of choose not to. So there were tons of people who didn't kill like the doctors, but then like the
You're
second
still
game comes out,
accused
and it's
of
just
it.
like, oh yeah, the doctors you didn't kill. Well, one of them's dead, and this is their family, and you're about to get punished for a thing you technically didn't do.
Yeah.
They want revenge now because he might have killed him.
Yeah.
But for me and Jax, we just look at Mass Effect and Dragon Age, where it's just like, God, the consequences of the actions I did or didn't take.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Anyway, I haven't played The Last of Us 2, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it's a great video game, and anybody who's mad should die bad.
Is it because of the lesbians and trans character?
A little bit, but
Fair
also
enough.
I just like it when gamers are mad about stuff. I find it to be very funny.
Yeah. It's also really sad about what they get mad over, because it very much reflects on, like, their worldviews whenever they complain about very specific things, like, the one game with the redhead and the mechanical dinosaurs, where they keep on complaining that she looks too mannish.
Oh, Alloy?
Yeah.
I'm
She
not
looks
sure.
gorgeous.
Yeah, she's pretty. People are just mad that women don't look like supermodels in their video games of, survival.
Yeah, I mean, like, even
Yeah,
going
that
back to,
game.
The Last of Us 2, one of the controversial figures is just a woman who is slightly toned. Like,
Wow. Can't believe they allowed that in a video game about survival.
Yeah. she's hot, she's muscular, and
Oh.
it's rad. I mean, also she does a lot of murders and stuff, so like,
Yeah,
maybe not the friendliest person
a
around,
lady who could
but
kill
like,
me. Hell yeah.
and depending on which part of the game, yes, she will.
Haha.
Um,
Wait, is this the
I
one
think that's actually.
who's like going
Sorry.
against the main characters for most of the game for some reason?
Yeah, so spoilers for a game that's been out for a while, I guess. Yeah, that the family of the doctor person who was Big Met, that's her. She comes after Joel, and she kind of does a murder on Joel, which is fair. I support women's rights and women's wrongs, and and most of the game, from my understanding, kind of switches between the perspective of her and also Ellie, who's like the other main character.
Yeah, the one that most
And
people know.
yeah, and I think honestly that's kind of super rad. Personally, I am really bad at these types of stressful games, so like I don't really play them myself. I usually watch like a playthrough of it. I haven't really gone around to The Last of Us 2. I might keep putting it off of like actually watching somebody play until my friend Tijana plays it for me. Because because we used to bond over like one YouTuber who played the first game, and
Fair.
we watched some of those videos together, and like we had long fun discussions about it. And then it turned out that YouTuber is horrible creep, so I can't go back to that playthrough anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Those.
yeah,
That
but
shit.
Kishana's played the game like a million times, at least the first game. And I know that she's been very slow on playing the second one. But if she ever plays it, like I'm gonna be sitting there and watching her do it, because I feel like that will kind of like retroactively fix all the weird feelings I have about the first game because of like the YouTuber person.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't want to find like another person to do it. Like at this point, I just want to hang out with my friend.
Yeah,
But
it's
we've just been
more
a little bit
about the
slow on it.
bonding than it is about the game itself.
Yeah. So that's like the main reason I've been putting it off. But that doesn't mean that I don't like listen to people talk about the game, because I do find it to be really fascinating. And I will say that at this point, while I don't know if it's like a good game necessarily, the fact that like it was clearly trying new things, I think that's rad. I'd rather have art try to do something interesting and not stick the landing versus not trying anything at all.
Yeah, and just basically being a remodel of the same thing. But slightly different. Ooh, so give us your money.
Listen, if I wanted to do a slightly different version of The Last of Us, I would buy one of the many re-releases of the game. You know, to do the sequel, you might as well do something new.
Yeah. And they did. So.
And they did.
Have your money.
I'm very proud of them. Yeah. But besides the fact that, like, I obviously jumped on this call because I need attention, and and this is the best place to get it, I did actually have a murder type of story that I can tell that's also video game related.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm still on topic.
Yay. You came more prepared than the other two.
I'm not sure if this is more prepared or if this is like
you have a story, which
some
is
scars will never heal.
It's still more than the other two.
You know what? Fair.
I can easily come up with a quick story. It's fine.
Yeah, I asked you about that and you said no.
It's sweats. It's fine.
I love this family.
Anyway, do you want to talk?
Anyway, I do want to talk. So, there were a couple of games that I used to play with my dad and my brother way back in the day. I was probably like around, I'm gonna lowball it and say about 14. So this was too many years ago. I will not say how many. It makes me feel weird. But I was like around 14, and one of the games that we were playing together was Neverwinter Nights. It is Yeah.
Man of my own heart right there. Oh my god.
We loved playing Neverwinter Nights together. And by loved playing, I mean we probably did the first opening level and maybe the second level together on repeat forever because we would play like it very intensely for like a couple of weekends, and then because I'm pretty sure all of us have ADHD, we would kind of get distracted by something else that was new and shiny, and then we would get back to Neverwinter Nights, but we would always just like, oh, it's been a few months, we should like start it again from the beginning, and that's how we never, got too far into the game. So we're in a constant state of like restarting it. I knew the opening area very well by the time we were kind of like mostly done with the game. So many zombies, so few times, but like
May I go into Neverwinter Nights as like a thing? As like I just need to quickly refresh myself on it, but I'm pretty sure I remember that whole thing because I loved that game too.
it was so good. Yeah, I'll let you go and talk more about it in a moment. My little story isn't too like in depth or anything.
Yeah.
Partially because I could never remember details anyway. But we were playing Neverwinter Nights together, and we had finally gotten beyond the opening area, which is full of zombies. There's a whole zombie plot going on here. But we managed to get a little bit beyond that, and we were just kind of investigating this cave that I believe was also a sort of like mine shaft situation going on. And it was my dad, my brother, and I just kind of like waltzing in. And my brother, who, mind you, probably would have been around 11 at this time, he saw a cave that was full of stuff, and he was just like, I'm just gonna run in, and whatever happens, happens. And what happened was a horde of monsters went chasing him and successfully killed him because he is one guy against what was like 20 other guys.
Oh no.
And my dad obviously had to go after him to try to help him revive him. And then he got murdered. And I had to sneak over to heal him, to heal them both. And of course, the moment my brother was healed, he wanted to go in and charge into the enemies again.
No.
And this started a cycle of my brother running into danger, my dad chasing after him, and me lagging behind in what became a tag healing event. Where multiple party members would go down, the others would try to heal up, only for us to inevitably get killed again. And what ended up happening was we decided not to heal my brother until the very end, so we can actually like gather up our shit and leave. But yeah, like it took us like it was like a good 30 minutes of us like tag healing, and eventually we got out, and eventually we were mostly okay. And at that point, we made it a new house rule that like you just can't run into a new area all willy-nilly. Like we can't do this again.
We can't keep doing this.
And it was so fun, but we never did like a heal circle like this again. But
You learned your lesson.
Yeah, just rounds of murder.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I was thinking of like now that I think about it, I was thinking of Boulder's Gate. That's my bad.
Whoops. Oh well.
No, that's fine. Oh no, you mixed up one of the several D&D video games. How could you?
How could you?
No, yeah, no. I have like I played the series, but not the main one. So that one I think was it an older game from when you played it, or was this the newest one?
I think it was a slightly older game by the time I got to it.
Yeah, that might. I played
I'm gonna see if I can find like the image of it for you, like some sort of screenshot.
I should probably
just
not add any more characters. I should just stick with
Mango, I don't know how many you have, but you have too many already.
4.
Okay, actually, that's... It's not as many as I was expecting.
3 of them are touching each other.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that's worse.
I was gonna say there, though that doesn't mean that I don't have a D&D murder I can do from Baldur's Gate.
Ooh.
Yes. This is
So-
suddenly very video game themed, and I love it.
So Baldur's Gate starts with you being basically an orphan. You grow up in Candlekeep. Your father is big time Mr. Mage. And you're eventually like get old enough where you're like, I'm gonna go on my first quest. And at first you're just going around the area, just kind of helping out, doing little fetch things and getting and whatnot. Basically, it's in other words, it's basically you kind of getting a tutorial. Eventually, he's like, you do get attacked. And I was like, and it is by the big bad, who is basically a Death Knight.
Wow.
Barbarian looking guy. Your father comes in to try and save you, though you can run. He dies. That's the murder.
Oh no.
But there should be a mention that there's a reason why he's murdering you, like trying to murder you. And that's that you and him, your fates are linked together. Both of you are the offspring of the god of murder.
Oh.
Okay.
Naturally, murder follows where you go. And this is which I do like, because like in all good video games, you do a lot of murder. Except in this case, it becomes hilarious when you realize, oh, my dad's the god of murder. This makes sense now. This is why I need to murder to get stronger.
It's beautiful.
Good.
The power of violence. I love it.
Yeah. And it was like, and for the record, he is, the god, his name is Bane. It was like, no, not Bane, yeah. It was like, yeah, actually it is Bane. It was like, but yeah, he is the god of, I'm gonna double check. I might be getting my old D&D gods confused.
God
It
forbid.
was like, yeah, no, Bane was the one of tyrants. That's like god of murder. Let me double check. I was like, Ball, that's it, Ball. And if you look at the Baldur's Gate, like the Baldur's Gate logo, where it looks like a skull with like a bunch of like or blood drops circling it, that's his symbol. You are like, which is even better. This whole time you've been looking at his divine symbol from the very opening of the game.
Oh, that's actually really cool. I
Yeah.
love when shit like that happens.
It was like, so yeah, you actually end up having to go along, and you do you do have to, of course, come to terms with that. There's always, the voice in your head trying to make you succumb to the, divine, like to be chaotic evil, basically. Or you could try to be good, but no matter what, you still are the child of a god of murder.
You will murder.
It is fated. Yeah, but it's also fated that Ball will, your sire basically will die by murder. And so now there's an entire, basically an entire murder competition almost by divine fate, where you and everyone have to, and all the other people of who call Ball their progenitor, have to see who's going to be the new god of murder. You'll never guess how that's determined.
Is it a raffle?
It is
Yeah,
an
it's
art
in a way.
Is
contest.
it like rock, paper, scissors?
In a way, it's a little bit of rock,
Talent
paper,
show.
scissors. Yeah,
The talent is murder.
yeah. No, but it is like rock, paper, scissors. When you meet each other, you can try to take some scissors and kill someone, take a rock and kill someone, or see if you can kill them with a scroll or your spell book. Either by doing it the nerd way by casting spells, or the Chad way by taking your spell book and beating someone to death.
Of course.
diversity win. You can kill them by using magic.
Yeah. It was like, but yeah, like you, like that is like, of course, you aren't limited on class. How you murder is not really a problem. There, he's a very kind of like the divine, like his divinity is based more on result than method.
Bubblegum,
But yeah.
in a dish. Which of the weapons will you pick?
Yep. How you gonna murder people? But yeah, it is a really cool game where you and your companions, you are like, you do change the fate of your companions' lives greatly.
Ooh.
Because, well, yeah, like everyone thinks you're just trying to escape and get revenge on this Dread Knight. Turns out he was one of many, and that's the cool things at end of Baldur's Gate 1 that you learn. He's one of many people who are
Trying to kill you.
got some title to the, and each other. Thank God. It's like a big fall, whatever.
Just wait
like
for them to kill each other off.
No, unfortunately, you can't do that either, because
Damn it.
it is also because it isn't just who's the last one standing. It's who's the last one to claim who's the first to claim the throne.
I'm on the wrong layer. The wrong layer.
Oh.
Why do you even have that layer?
It's a sketch layer.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You know what? There's a solution, though. There's a solution. I'll just make that one more transparent and then drop colors on top of it in order to not have to redraw it.
Okay.
Yes, and and Charlie, that Neverwinter Nights, that is the older one. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one from ye old ago. All right, so but
Ye
I
olden
can't-
I
times.
love this version.
No, fair. I've heard. I am remembering now. I've heard there's a great community with the Neverwinter Nights where like they did a whole mod community where someone basically modded using like their engine, modded in a whole new game with like basically a sequel to the game.
Ooh.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the community with Neverwinter Nights is just fantastic.
I know that like even back when I was playing, there was a lot of servers that were still really active, and a lot of them were very open to just like people popping in and using it as like resources essentially. My dad,
that's what I
he would
mean.
do is he would like go into like some specific servers and get my brother and I like a lot of really cool loot and shit, which was really helpful because like my brother and I, we were just like little kids, and we were pretty decent at the game, but we were also like
Little kids.
little kids. So like being able to get like really cool weapons and really good armor right off the bat was super helpful for us when we weren't like super great at the game.
Mm-hmm.
And like I kind of understood that this wasn't my dad just like putting in a cheat code and like getting us cool stuff. I understood that this is like a server that somebody was running, so people like us could just grab shit and go. And I think that was really cool because people don't have to do that, but it was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, the Neverwinter community is really cool.
And also
Not,
mood jacks.
I kind of want to play it again, but it's definitely more fun with more folks, I think.
Yeah, no, and it would be fun to play one of the more updated stuff that people have done, I think, but I also definitely don't blame anyone not wanting to play the old games. They are old.
They're
They
old
are.
for a
I mean,
reason.
They have like 3 pixels, and that's it.
3 pixels
Yeah, no,
shared
it does
with itself.
But yeah, I should mention, like, not to say like, oh, it's old as in, old age. I mean, it's old. It's a game. It's an old game. Come on now.
Yeah.
It's been out for a very long
By game
time.
standards.
It's old.
Yeah, by game standards, it's old. I was like, but anyway, I should to go a little bit more with the Baldur's Gate. I should mention another cool thing is that yeah, murder does. There's a lot of like I know murder. Like I said, murder plays a lot into what's going on, but you do have a lot of people grappling with the concept of murder because you're going to be a god of it. So the real question is, how do you? It's like, what kind of god are you? Because good or evil, you still are now in charge of the concept of murder. So what do you do?
Do you make it
And I think
just
that's
remain as like stabby stabby, shoot magic, or assassination?
No. It's like, but there's also other things like technically, is like that you could do that kind of brings up the question, like just like does like about being a god of murder, and part of that is, hey, do you want to make it where it's like where like you try to see if you can make it where it's you're a god of justified murder, like justice? Do you want to where that might be more chaotic? Lawful could just like be in regards to the victims of it. Like it brings up a cool question that's left open-ended in the game, but I think is fun for a role play aspect because you can then have either what would you, the player, or what would your character do in that situation after coming as far as you have? What's the point of murder?
I don't like
Why
this
is it because it's yeah. It was like sorry, it's just I like that games. I like the games like taking a mature take or like an interesting question to be asked if you're having to be a god of a concept like that.
Yeah, instead of
'Cause
just leaving
you
it
could-
like you get to be big murder bad.
Yeah, you can be a good guy. Technically, you can give the mantle to another person who wants it, who is also, one of Paul's children. He is the big murder bad, and he totally and never do that because he betrays you and murders you, surprisingly.
Whoa!
Really?
The
He
new god
commits
of
murder?
murder wants to murder you.
Yeah.
Controversial.
I
I know,
don't believe
yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's also like I do like that the game developers let you make mistakes. Like, yeah, you totally screwed yourself over, buddy. Don't if the guy says, hey, if you let me be the god of murder, I pinky promise not to murder you, it probably isn't the smartest thing to do. You can do it.
But he pinky
don't.
promised.
He pinky
Yeah.
promised me though.
Right? Afraid he isn't the god of pinky promises.
Ah, fuck.
Let's make a murder on it next time then, I guess. Damn.
But yeah, it is cool, especially when there is like a funny gag where you do have to, is like where you meet up with like you're setting on a mission like that's like trivial, and your whole party doesn't want to do it because you're so high level. So you hire a party of adventurers to go do it, and then they try to betray you and murder you, which was a terrible mistake. You kick their hides because they're low level, and then the game restarts as if the party themselves reloaded a save, and then they just take the money and go.
Fair.
Which is great. I love that. I love when video games do stupid stuff like that.
It
You gotta
is
break the
funny.
fourth wall now and again.
It is funny.
You can also try to murder Demogorgon, which is like the prince of all demons. You get your ass kicked.
Woo!
Fair.
But the real
Yeah,
question
he's
is
the
he
prince
hot though?
Yeah.
Is he hot?
I mean, it really depends. Like, I think I don't think the answer is no for some people. He's got 2 heads
Ooh!
and 4. He's got 2 heads and 4 like it was like 4 like octopus-like arms.
Ooh. A monster
And
fucker.
and he's a big boy.
He's for the
Yeah.
monster fuckers. Demogorgon. Baldur's
Put D&D.
Gate.
You can just he's the prince of all demons. He's one of the original.
I want to see.
There are some bad pictures of him, though. I will warn. Like, goofy bad. Like, what the hell were you making?
I appreciate that energy, though.
Yeah.
Me and Jax are on the same page. Intrigued monster fucker.
I mean, hey, you know what? He's like, hey, listen.
He's definitely for the
had a lot
furry
of-
monster fuckers. He has like
Yeah,
baboon
that should-
faces.
Which is like, yeah, like I said, it depends on which picture you get. There's some that are less flattering than others.
Well, I just
was
looked
like-
up Baldur's Gate, and then, according to some of the images, the model that I found is probably the best picture to look at it for, because of the angle.
Yeah. So yeah, I would mention, like, you know, there's a lot of people who found him attractive enough. He's had a lot of children.
There's a lot of monster fuckers in this game, is what I'm hearing.
In D&D, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there are.
Yeah, considering, like, all
At
the
what point
spin-off
is it-
races that can breed with each other, there's a lot of monster fuckers.
I mean, I was also
There's
going to
a-
say the drow do it all the time.
Yeah, that too. Fucking spider
At what point
centaurs.
is it, like,
Oh, there was other things.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
in D&D,
Mhm.
at what point is it considered another race as opposed to a monster? Because
I guess a level of
that is-
sentience.
No, there's another way.
No?
Were you made by a god of creation or not? It's like, because mortals, like, who are not, like, are technically all share in common that they were given mortal souls. So old school D&D, basically, things that were monsters didn't have souls. They had spirits. Things that were not monsters had souls.
thank you
I'm
for
glad I
there's
was
a lot of
definitely here for this whole conversation. I didn't have to leave at any point.
Well, don't worry. You just,
You definitely didn't
You
miss
just,
the monster fucker conversation that we had.
Definitely did not. I was there for the whole thing, and it was great. We've learned so many things together that I will retain my brain for all time.
Good to know.
if you're looking for someone like to see the demon, like the basically demon playboy of all playboys, you can look up D&D Gratz.
Grats?
He's the demon lord of lust.
Ooh.
I will write that down as for something to never look up. Thank you.
Yeah,
How do you spell that? How do you spell his name?
A
G-R-A-T.
T. Gratz. I was like, I'm making sure. It was like, it has been.
Wait, is
like I
it
said-
G-R-A-Z-Z-T?
No, it's Gratttz. I just need to double check which one it was.
Okay, so autocorrect
Get it
is lying to
right.
me.
No, wait,
Oh.
no, that's right. No, I'm sorry. There is multiple ways to spell his name. Because
The internet was telling me the truth
D&D
then.
is
Ooh. I can see how he's a playboy.
Sorry, that was great. That was beautiful, actually.
yeah. Listen, I was gonna say if you're probably gonna know it, guy with like skin that looks like about as black as charcoal, with
Purple.
some horns. That's him,
He's dark purple.
or purple.
Dark purple. And he has a
It
little
changes
wavy
depending on
sword.
who draws him.
Yeah. This is the
Yep.
first one that I got to see. You can see how he's a playboy.
That's a.
Yeah,
I was gonna
that's
say that's a very fruity type of sword he has going on there.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That's the D&D 5th edition version.
It has a little hook on the end. When it goes through, it's bringing you back with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have it no other way.
Did you know he had a mortal girlfriend who almost killed him? And the reason they started dating was because like she was so clever and so good at evading him and nearly killing him that he's like, all right, we're dating, girl.
That's just how it be. Just like, I can't kill you, so let's
I
date.
kind of like that a lot.
You know. Yeah, he's he's the big time seducer, and usually whenever you think of demons that like being heathens, he's probably the one responsible for it.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah.
You're like, oh
The
wow,
whole
they're
thing
under
just
the
gives me very like, you want me so bad and we should look stupid type of vibes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's what
You
she
must be
did
a-
to him. I need to point out he fell in love with her, and she would just like, and she milked that for all it was worth.
Good
And
for
yes,
her.
I know what words I just used. I did that on purpose.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, really though, she was like
I think
I'm
they're
trying to
called
remember,
Yanti?
like, what's her name?
Are those Yanti? In the picture that I just sent?
Right.
The bodyguards.
I was like, yeah.
People?
No, those are not Yanti. Those are Marilis. Those are a type of demon.
Marilis. Okay. But they're similar, right?
Most of them. Not entirely. Yanti are mortal snake people. Marilis are demons. They are full on
They're
demons.
they're shaped
Oh
similarly.
my god, this feels like crocodiles versus alligators. Like, I'm sorry.
No,
It's the same thing to me.
it's kind of like comparing chickens and dinosaurs, really. They're
They're the same.
I should
Have
say
you
chicken.
looked at a chicken? They definitely feel like they're the same. They know where they came from.
Let me rephrase that. It's like comparing chickens and T-Rexes. I know they like their quads are the same, but they're really not the same.
Yeah. I
It's like,
understand,
yeah,
but also,
I know.
haha.
I know. That is the big time thing where they're like, yeah, it was basically the people who made the Yanti based it off of Conan, where there's snake people in that.
Oh, right.
And the Marilis were made by Gary Gygax, who is probably has some fetishes he doesn't want to talk about.
But also makes very
Because
well known
it's-
in the races.
But I should also really point out the Marilis normally are totally nude. Oh, that was in their
Titties.
original description. It was like, because again, don't let anyone fool you. This was made entirely for a very specific demographic.
To be fair, I think the person who created Star Trek was also one of those type of people when you actually look at all the sexual content in there. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's not the kind of worms that we should open.
Definitely.
I love this
Yeah.
podcast about murder.
To be fair, these women could kill you.
Fair.
Yeah, no, they.
Yeah.
It's like Marilith are actually probably like one of the most powerful demons there are. They will kick your ass if you are absolutely unprepared, and they're very, very intelligent.
I believe that.
I do,
Like these-
if you don't mind, I do want to circle back just a tiny bit to Neverwinter Nights. Just
Okay.
because I did look it up, and it was released in 2002, so it's a 20-year-old game.
Whoa.
He's older than me.
Yeah, so
Yeah, like I said.
You fucking baby.
No, it's obviously an older game. That's why I was joking that it's made out of like 3 pixels and that's it. It definitely looks like it's from this
Okay.
era.
It's made up of 10
but it is-
pixels. We're sorry.
We're sorry.
Sorry.
But also, the thing I wanted to point out, welcome to Coffee, where we take dumber conversations and make even dumber podcasts.
I'm Mango.
But I do want to point out that like this is technically like an MMO, and there's still people playing. According to an article from February of this year,
Good for
there
them.
is still about 160k daily players.
What the? Oh.
People like this game still.
That
Yeah,
does
it's
not surprise
because
me.
How adaptable this. It's also how adaptable the system was, because they actually let you make your own levels and stuff. Like you could in the game make your own campaign.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's what that's why it's such a long-lasting game. It's like, but also to answer Jax, it was like the Lamia, yes, snake things, no, they're different from all three of the other two snake. They're different from the other two snake things because I don't know, D&D likes snakes, okay? Whenever
They
you want
like
something ancient,
serpents.
yeah, listen. Whenever you want something that's ancient and evil, you get a snake.
That has
That's
weird
so fair.
connotations when thinking about real world conspiracies. Oh
Yep.
no.
I was
Oh,
going to suggest, is it that D&D is weirdly obsessed with snakes, or is it just that, you know, Christianity has kind of
Oh,
its ways into all aspects of our lives, and
no. That one,
snakes is a
that one
weird
I can.
fixation?
the snakes are
No,
weird.
that one I can actually explain.
Okay.
That one is due. It was like, well, actually, I shouldn't. Let me rephrase that. You aren't wrong, but hold on. That
There's
is
layers to
due-
this.
That's like that is due. Like what they're really referencing is also Conan, which again, that's where a lot of this is like. Yeah, Conan the Barbarian. The whole long series. Originally, there was like the time before time. How there and they did have snake people thing, but that was not for the reason why snake people conspiracy came about. This was something else. It was like, and the reason why I say hold on is also, yes, snake bad. That is a trope you will find ingrained into the zeitgeist of every single thing, and like that, like a lot of things in just pop culture. Really, when you go far back, it's there. Everyone gets it when you say snake person. It's like snake thing. They're like, oh, it's probably bad because snake thing.
Yeah.
I read that somewhere.
I wonder. Thank you.
You're welcome. I kept on hearing it.
I know. I'm dumb, but I liked my one joke.
You liked
No,
it
you
enough
did
to
good.
say it
It was like
twice.
Thank you. I did.
We just kept
that's
sliding over it.
I made it up anyway.
I know.
yeah, that is kind of that is why they do why it's like that. It's reference upon reference, and someone got the idea from the the proliferation of the story of the Bible. It's
That's not what I was
Exactly,
talking about with conspiracy theory, but yeah, the Bible.
no. I should say not full on the conspiracy, but it is unfortunately that's like the conspiracy theory has its roots in using that. That's why I said quasi, because that's where the conspiracy theory came about. Like that whole conspiracy theory came about due to tropes, quasi being a dog whistle. There's a whole long thing with it.
Yeah.
It all wraps back around. That's the problem. No matter what, you're gonna
Humanity really said don't trust reptiles.
Well, because to one extent,
It's
not
survival.
an unreasonable thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get to the Bible. Give me
I
a
said
second, I'll get to it.
survival.
Well, survival, yeah. Yeah, because you have a lot of these reptiles that are poisonous and dangerous,
And will try to fight you.
It's worth it. They will try to fight you,
Steal
and
your food.
also they steal food. They will sometimes
Still children.
bite and kill people. Their bites are very notoriously poisonous and will kill small children. That is a thing that happens. And obviously would happen more back in the olden days, back when we were a little bit more in nature and couldn't separate ourselves from predators as successfully as we do now. So, you'll get a lot of these fables and stories that will demonize certain creatures, and it's not unreasonable for them to do this.
Yeah.
But you will have these stories that will become either bigger fables or they get roped up into, religion, like with snakes in the Bible. And, religion gets carried everywhere. And so now snakes are just kind of the big thing, and you see them everywhere, and it's just like, oh yeah, we really did popularize that notion, didn't we?
Yeah, and then there's the entire
And
thing about the getting the snakes out of like Ireland, I think, which didn't actually live there and was a metaphor for pagans.
Yeah.
yeah, then they start using, this as um, not being symbolic. That's not quite the word that I'm looking for, but metaphors.
Yeah.
It's from metaphors for certain things. But this is also why you will see this pop up in a lot of conspiracy theories, because it turns out that a lot of people who are super into conspiracy theories are also people who are really fucking religious, like really religious.
Yeah.
Things that you wouldn't necessarily tie with religion gets tied in anyway. Like I
Yeah,
wouldn't
like flat
naturally
Earth.
think. I was about to point out flat Earth because that's not something I would think intuitively is connected to Christianity or anything.
And yet,
But
so many,
yeah,
so many are like,
you go
the
into
Bible says it's flat.
yeah, which I'm pretty sure the Bible says a lot of things, and I don't really know if a flat Earth specifically is one of them.
Yeah.
But
New Age
either way,
nuttery.
but yeah, and so that's how you end up with a lot of these conspiracies that have a lot of weird symbolism with snakes specifically, because it all just wraps up back up into that one fucking book, and yeah, like something that might have been based on something fairly reasonable, like hey, we should tell stories about how you should stay away from snakes because they can and will kill you, turns into snake people rule the world actually.
You know this
It's just a
minority that we
lot.
hate that actually made the Bible? Yeah, they're controlling the world and actually aren't people. They're lizards in disguise for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, it's some stupid
Bullshit.
stuff. It is. Yeah. Like, but in terms of just D&D, it's the reason is Conan, not the Bible. It's just that was like the big pop media thing at the time, along with actually, but a little bit before Tolkien, like in Lord of the Rings. Those two were the big influences. Surprise! That's what the people who made D&D based their stuff off. The thing that they really liked.
Wow, it's almost like halflings are hobbits, but they couldn't legally say that.
Yeah.
Strange.
It's a fun fact. Gary Gygax, when first making D&D, wanted to have a Conan style adventure, but his players wanted to have a Tolkien adventure. So that's why D&D is really like Tolkien fantasy. It is strictly because of the first players, and it was like, and Gary Gygax had to do the thing that all DMs must do:
Adapt.
and make a campaign around their players.
Adapt to the people who have to sit in a room with you for the next 6 hours.
Yep. It's like, so to all DMs, it's been there from the beginning.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think it's also been there since, like, oral storytelling. Where it's like you have to adapt to the people you're telling it to, or else they will leave.
Well, it's called being like a good, DM, really.
And it's been happening since the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yay.
And if you don't adapt, you're...
on this about murders.
Yeah.
If you get us talking long enough, it will just always turn back into D&D. That or me complaining about capitalism, one or the other. Sometimes both if you're lucky.
Yeah. Anyway,
I was gonna
Ben,
say, those
do you
are
want to
like
talk about a
exclusive.
murder?
Sure.
You have stories about murders that you have created yourself. Would you like to talk about one?
I do. No.
Fair enough.
Okay, podcast.
No, I'm gonna probably keep on the theme of games
Ooh.
because not specifically murder, but there's just a really cool moment in Fire Emblem Engage I want to talk about.
Ooh.
And it's relevant enough. 2 guys get murdered at the beginning of it, it's fine. It counts.
Fictional murder for our fictional murder podcast.
Yeah. So basically, plot of Fire Emblem Engage, quick overview. I have not finished it, but it's pretty good. It's my first Fire Emblem game, and I like it. So yeah.
Murder.
I agree.
Big fan.
Basically, you're a dragon and you've fallen asleep for 1,000 years, and then your mom dies. It's a whole thing. Anyways, you're going from like place to place, getting rings. You're just stealing jewelry from people. But like you get to this kingdom called Rhodia, and it's like the warrior nation or whatever, and you get there, the king's great, and it's like, okay, this is great, and then the very totally not evil kingdom Elusia attacks and ends up taking the king prisoner, and you're like, oh shit, we gotta go save him now, don't we? And so basically, like, the setup is just you're in the middle of a war, and you go to this cathedral because it's like, well, you 2 super kidnapped a guy we kind of care about. Can we have him back, maybe?
And they're like, no.
And they really did say no. Actually, what they said was, instead of giving him back to you, how about instead we sacrifice him to the evil dragon?
Whoa. Controversial.
And that's kind of the opposite of what we want, actually.
Yeah, that's like not cool. But you're like 1 minute too late to stop it. He gets, I think, possessed by the. I don't know what goes on with him. I don't remember his name. I just felt bad killing him. Anyway.
We loved him so much. What's his face?
We loved what's his face so much.
I remember none of the characters' names in that game. That's a lie. I remember one character's name and it's Louis. Anyway.
Is it because you love him? Is it because you're gay?
It is. Yes. It's because he looks like Steak from 999 and it's
A fancy boy.
I'll show you a picture. Okay.
A fancy blind
no,
boy. Twirls hair.
Fine, just keep his eyes closed. It's entirely stupid, and I don't know. Like he just looks like someone dyed Snake's hair.
Does he also look like he? Does he also look like he's wearing a band uniform outfit?
No, he doesn't. There's this
Damn.
like super powered form, which it gives his hair.
Oh,
like,
he really
close
do.
to straight color.
He really do. The difference is that he. The difference is he opens his eyes.
He does. His eyes are usually closed, though.
You really said I will enjoy the Snake 2.0.
Yeah. He's great. This is not about him, but it is. No.
It's not, but it is, but no.
It's about him because I want it to be.
It's about him because you're gay.
True. I'm gay for every single guy in Rune Factory, or not Rune Factory, also Rune Factory, but like in Fire Emblem, same game, it's fine. Not even close. Every single guy in Fire Emblem I am gay for. It's not fair.
Wow, it's almost like you're gay or something.
Oh man, imagine.
Imagine being gay.
In my Christian Minecraft server?
Hey, boyfriend, imagine being gay.
I know. I failed my boyfriend a couple times by being gay.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a
How
bad
dare
habit.
you?
Sorry.
How dare you be gay for me and my OCs and our other partners who are also definitely straight.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't know how.
I don't know how you keep failing this test. Listen, just draw a straight line. That is a rainbow, sir.
Oh God, it keeps happening. Pick up a number 2 pencil, just rainbows. Oh well. So the real murder was being gay.
Apparently.
You could
the real murder is
also,
a friend we made along the way.
Darren, if I might suggest, you could also just go down the road of I will intentionally confuse everyone by just presenting how, like, how even the writers didn't know what to do with him because he was supposed to die, but now he has to live for the entire series for some reason.
It's either that or you wait until Charlie gets Salt and Paper going, and then we'll eventually talk about it. I promise.
Yeah, but
Oh
the
my God.
the presentation is tomorrow though. Charlie, you have to do a Salt and Paper stream today.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Alright, let me just boot up Netflix real quick. Watch a couple of hours of the show and get back to you.
But you could also just like talk about the evolution of his character, I guess. I don't know. I haven't had to do a presentation in a long time. The last presentation that I did of my own choice, I was in basically a nursing class and I had to do a presentation. So I did a presentation on like the concept of OCs.
Fair.
In a nursing class?
Yeah. They didn't say I had to do a topic on nursing, so I decided to do a topic that I kind of understood, which was making original characters and all that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
Darren's in like a...
in terms of like cringy presentations you can give, talking about a character that you like from a show is fine. I
Yeah.
don't think anyone's gonna judge you too harshly. If it makes you feel any better, I legitimately had a presentation I did in college where I talked about Five Nights at Freddy's theories for 20 minutes straight.
I love that all of us were like, I could be serious about this topic and do something that a lot of people are going to be interested in. Or I can be self-indulgent for this amount of time. Behold.
The extra context I will give is that this was specifically a speech class where we were supposed to give presentations on various subjects. And, so at some point, people were just giving really anything that they felt passionate about. There was one kid I remembered who was very passionate about etiquette on the subway and did a whole presentation on that. And which I actually thought was kind of cool. So yeah, like if you have the opportunity to do a presentation, you might as well do it on something that you enjoy. I don't think that many people are actually going to come at you about it.
Yeah. You could just talk about, like, the deep dive into Shiro's character where you intentionally get more and more unhinged as it goes.
And
There
the
is
show
something
itself.
funny about the whole Pepe Sylvia of it all. So if you want to lean into that, you can.
Yeah. If this is intentionally meant to be a silly presentation, you don't have to worry about, like, confusing people or whatever, because this is where you can just be passionate about something just because, and everyone else has to endure it. Think of it as, like, you're not trapped in a room with them, they're trapped in a room with you, and you have the center stage.
Yes.
They legally cannot speak.
They legally cannot leave the room. You have trapped them in here. They have to listen. They may not have to absorb what you're telling them, but they have to listen.
Yes.
Anyway, I've managed to outline one of the characters in this, and I'm starting to think that it's probably a good idea that I decided I'm just going to do the 4. Everyone else is just going to be implied by just the characters in association.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I gotta work on the RPG thing.
That's the entire reason why I'm doing this stream, is to work on it while having other people ramble along with me.
Don't get me wrong, I am drawing right now, but it's for PNG models, not for art.
Fair enough. Also, good luck, Darian. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to talk about Shiro in front of other people.
Believe in us.
Yeah.
You do your thing, Mr. Hyperfixation Boy.
Yeah. We believe in you. We've all been there, apparently.
This kid can get so much sheer love in him. It's great.
This kid contains so much sheer love and love for men. Just like this other kid can contain so much love for Snake and Snake adjacent characters and also other men.
Sweat. It's not my fault they're pretty.
I know.
Also, if I can, like, because I did actually remember there's like a shitty, so like in Fire Emblem Engage, you encounter the king who's been possessed, and you have to fight him. He's one of the bosses for that level. And I was like, oh okay,
that is really good art. Sorry. I got distracted looking at your chat.
Oh, fair. So it's like the win conditions for this level was like kill other king guy, and then like you have to take Morian. His name was fucking Morian. You're gonna have to kill King Morian. You're gonna have to kill like a possessed King Morian. I'm like, wow, that sucks. Good thing I'm not gonna do it dramatically, right? Takes one of his sons. Hey, you're in close enough range. Do you want to deal the killing blow?
Oh. You fucked up that perfectly good NPC. Look at it. It has more trauma.
Okay, but the thing is, he had two sons. He had the other one, who I also
He
forgot
had
the name of.
spare. Don't worry about it. He had a spare.
You have a spare in case the other one dies.
Yeah,
That's fine.
He has Diamant. He has Diamant and Alcrest. And Diamant's like the crown prince. He's the new king. He's great. But his younger brother Alcrest is a small ball of anxiety, and I love him. So unfortunately Alcrest was closer. And so he might have been the one I was like, you know what, you can deal the final blow. And then the game gave me a cutscene about it.
Oh wow.
As if I didn't feel bad enough. There was a full cutscene of just like, I'll do this because I'll do this so Diamant doesn't have to, and like they had the whole like interaction between this guy and his dad 5 minutes before he kills his dad, and I felt so bad about it.
That's incredible.
Good job, game. You traumatized the player for...
Apparently they didn't traumatize me enough, because I had to redo that battle. I think I lost it or something.
Huh?
No, I had to redo that like a specific section, and I did it again.
You had to nail it down in yourself.
Yeah. I was like, wow, this is slightly traumatizing. Anyways, repeat.
You didn't learn to try using someone else.
The thing is, I could have. I strategically planned it so he'd get to kill his dad again.
You wanted that cutscene again.
I love
The
Alcrest.
production value on it was great.
Yeah, I love Alcrest. I wanted to cause him trauma.
That's what happens when you have a favorite character. Especially when you're like...
We show love.
Yeah. It's like, wow, I really love this
so
character.
ridiculous.
I'm going to give them so much trauma in order to see the other sides of them.
Exactly. But yeah, that's my fictional murder. It was actually a real-life murder of the game towards me.
The game murdered you.
I wasn't expecting it to have a cutscene or acknowledge that I was doing that at all, and then it did, and I felt bad.
Too
I
bad.
kind of find that funny. Sorry.
Yeah.
I find it funny too.
We all do.
I find it hilarious.
Ah! Music!
Nice job there, Dex.
Thank you, Jax. I almost completely forgot that I got Super Cool to sing for me for the bits.
Oh.
Yeah, so when you listen back to this, you get to listen to him singing about tossing bits to your Twitcher. Fair. And you had to... I assume you had to fight Pyrex for it. Because he's usually the one throwing those at me. Anyway. So, trauma.
Indeed.
Yeah. How long have I been
That's it. That's my
streaming?
fictional murder.
Fair enough. Ooh, we've all managed to do one within the span of an hour and a half. Impressive.
Ooh. I should not have started shading.
Too bad you have. Are you going to commit to the
Yeah.
bit?
I don't know, because I was like, this will be fine. I'll line one, and then I'll doesn't line the other three that I need to do, and then I was like, I feel like coloring. I'll just color it. It's fine. And now I'm shading them, which means the others are
Why?
going to get done.
To be fair, I'm in a similar situation of a completely different thing. I have to draw the back of a character who doesn't have a reference for his
No.
backside.
Ooh. Oh, you're screwed.
Yeah. And also, because of the theming for this character, I have to decide, do I want to give him a ponytail or not? Because technically, he doesn't have a ponytail. However, the character that, kind of using as a reference as well for this piece, does have a ponytail. Ah!
Well, good luck.
Why do you send me bits?
Because I, your boyfriend, also have
Not
a
again!
ponytail.
There's more! There's more music going on. Why did the music repeat?
Because I did 500.
Is it done? Will I be jump scared by Super Cool again? Okay, I think it's done. Anyway. I know you're not.
Violation. Violation.
There's a hype train!
Violation.
Yeah!
And Brian David Gilbert came to say violations. Also, Charlie, I see you.
They don't.
Then who the fuck gave me those bits?
I don't know. It's a mystery.
Somehow y'all
it
set
goes.
off a goddamn hype. Y'all are about to set off a goddamn hype train.
I wonder.
No. Stop.
What?
What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
The sounds of I wonder make me think that you're lying to me. Charlie!
No. Normal. Don't worry about it.
Charlie.
Yes.
Bops you.
No.
Jax! How dare you all. How dare you all support me while also battling it out.
Violation. 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 Violation.
You are right, Brian David Gilbert. Violations!
No.
Also, Charlie, ponytail or no ponytail?
Ponytail.
Okay. Ponytail it is. Violations! So many violations. Look what y'all did. Y'all made it to where Jax is out of bits.
Yeah. Worth it.
Assholes, all of you.
Love you.
Love you too. Bastards.
Most begrudging.
To be fair, I think you've done a similar thing too.
Yeah. Fun idea.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hello, Ari.
Hello.
Welcome. It is indeed art.
Yeah. It's our time.
It's art time.
Yeah.
Where I'm hiding my art and Ben is showing off his art. And Charlie is also hiding his art because he's not streaming.
Yeah.
Indeed.
No.
God damn it! I have to do this again. Fuck. I hate sprites. I hate drawing sprites.
Yeah, sprites are hard. That's probably why we've been procrastinating our own game. Writing and sprites are hard.
Sprites for?
What?
What are these sprites for?
These are from my visual novel. Also, Ari, you might know the character, you might not. His name's Maple. He's great.
Jax is also hiding their art.
Hell yeah! Everyone's hiding their art.
Except you!
Secret art.
Shit. Fuck.
No. Ben is just doing this privately between us and the 4 people watching, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and whoever else is on my stream. Private.
And technically Twitch and
Yeah.
staff.
Yeah. And
But,
whoever else.
It's just between us.
Yeah. Just between us and Twitch.
Yeah. This is basically, I have written an entire visual novel and coded most of it, and now I'm remembering I have to do art for it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, good on you for coding though, my friend.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah,
coding.
that's actually really impressive.
That's actually part of the reason we met and got to know each
Yeah.
other. You know,
It
for
is-
the...
we made but yeah,
I want to see.
I hate drawing sprites. Why did I do this?
Because otherwise you'd have a game with no art.
That is true. Actually, I can be self-indulgent and very briefly show my own stream the game in its current progress.
Oh.
Oh. I didn't know you made Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney character. I made some like a later game.
No, yeah, no, I definitely made the Greatest Attorney.
Cool. I knew you were talented.
Yeah, sorry to break it. Yeah,
My son is so talented.
yeah, but welcome to Vampire, I guess. Had nothing so
There's
far.
so much art
but-
body doubling going on here.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was able to
But
convince
you're
y'all to stream with
bodybuilding
me.
Art, and I'm bodybuilding art.
Then who's running stream?
But yeah, my visual novel has placeholder art that I also need to finish. And then then we have the lobby, which I also need to finish. And that's it. This is all that we'll play for the rest of the game because I did not put any more effort into this.
Set off to look for Lloyd.
No, we're not playing it.
Aww.
Will you play it on stream one day?
When you finish
I
it, would
mean,
you play it on stream?
Yeah.
Me? I know the endings.
But would you play it on stream? That's not...
Sure. Yeah.
Yay! A game dev playthrough.
Yeah, I'll like point out every section I hate.
Yeah, so like a true game dev stream.
Yeah. I'm hoping to maybe get it done this year. We'll see. Sprites
Yeah.
are annoying.
I would love to play it whenever it gets done.
I need to work on my game. Not today, though. I'm working on Art Crit because I'm stupid and keep joining.
That's fair. I keep forgetting to join and then being like, ah, shit. Well, next time.
Yeah, I keep being like, oh, I'm gonna do one of my 1,000 projects, and then it's always like, oh, wait,
Art Crit.
Art Crit's due in 10 days. Shit.
Yeah. I actually noticed the email notification because I had to go into my email today for that, so like, haha. Anyway, this
I
man
always
has
noticed.
big boobies according to the side profile that I gave him.
Good. I don't know who the character is, but good.
You'll enjoy it,
Ideal.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. I ended up realizing that I've kind of made the twink probably a little too thick to be a twink, but also I'm not redrawing him again. He's just gonna be surrounded by people with even bigger boobs than him, so it'll be fine. He'll look like a twink in comparison. Twink.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what's that one game where all of the characters are big and then they got the thinnest dude on there got called a twink even though he's still like fucking huge? Oh,
No idea.
I don't know what it's
Not
called.
sure.
It's the one with Bridget in it, the little trans girl. I don't remember.
Oh, Guilty Gear.
Yeah, with their twink, quote-unquote, character.
I don't know why I instantly knew that. I don't play.
I don't either, but I know Bridget because everyone's like in love with her, and I am too. I have no idea about her
That's so
other
fair.
than she's trans and pretty.
I've heard a bit of her backstory, and it's like really interesting, actually.
Yeah. However, backstory does not always indicate gameplay, and you actually have to play the game.
Gasp! Really?
No, because I have
Oh,
not.
Okay, cool.
Just like Five Nights at Freddy's beyond the first game, I have not played at all.
Damn, I've only played FNAF World.
I didn't beat the first game, FYI. I started playing it and then stopped. Because I'm a
Fair.
pussy.
Overly fair.
I'm a pussy. With a pussy.
I wouldn't have even like. You got further than I would have.
I have so many FNAF games in my Steam before, like, figuring out more about Scott, but I have so many FNAF games for someone who doesn't play them.
Fair?
To be fair, most of them were free, so
Yeah.
how can you argue with free?
You can't. That's the rules.
That's definitely the rules on Steam, because now I have Sims 4. I haven't played it yet, but I have it.
Like 10-year-old me buying Sims 4 for like all of his allowance is screaming right now.
Well, sorry, your dad got it for free.
Yeah, quite literally, like you got it for free, and also just my actual dad got it for free because he just played my copy.
Your dad's free. You, all your
Yeah.
money.
Pretty much, yeah.
I really hope my person likes this. I'm pretty sure they will, but also I hope my person likes this. This is a lot.
I'm sure they will.
This is a lot for me, especially considering last month I didn't have the energy to draw people. And now I've drawn 4.
You've just upgraded, it's fine.
Yeah, I went from I can only manage to do the background and the foreground and not the actual person crawling out of the window. To be fair, I guess it helps that I was using like a painting as like the starting point, and now I'm just kind of redrawing over the sketch over that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but also,
I've basically just gone back to my early DeviantArt days of drawing on bases.
fair?
What were you going to say about also 4?
I think that was just it. That was just the sentence.
Ah, okay, fair enough. You know what?
Damn
I
it.
should probably...
I love being able to pose.
Yeah. That's why I took someone else's posing of characters and went, yep, my art now.
That's so smart.
Yeah. Sometimes you can just do that.
Damn.
Like, you
Smart.
probably shouldn't do that all the time, especially when it's, like, for money. However, this is not for money. This is for a friend.
Fair. Yeah.
I really hope that I'm getting across this man's thickness.
I believe in you.
Thank you. Because he's gonna have a thick but flat ass.
I might request to see the picture for artistic reasons.
Yes.
I think y'all both seen some of this, but sure. I'll do that in a bit.
Yeah, take your time, my dear. Yeah, well. Any other things to talk about on this murder podcast where we talk about all the things that come to our brains?
Yes.
Murder, maybe.
I do a lot of murder in Final Fantasy XIV. There's like hunting logs for some of the base like characters and character classes and all that you can murder with, which means that you cannot murder as a carpenter. So I've managed to complete like 2 of them so far, but I need to level up some of my side classes more in order to access the rest of the hunting logs for those classes. Because it's picky like that, but it does help with leveling the classes. Also, nope, my brain blinked. Never mind, there's not also. There's no also.
Damn.
Yeah.
There will never be an also.
There will also never be an all-star.
Oh no.
Unless it is you. Are you the all-star we have been foretold?
No.
Damn. There's no all-star.
Someone once told me that the world was gonna roll me.
I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Okay,
Damn.
that's a lyric. Damn!
This is so sad.
Oh, what a concept.
There was a lady with her
my-
finger and the thumb in the shape of an L on
In
her
the shape of
forehead
an
for some
L?
reason.
Damn.
Right,
Well,
better
they
get
start
started.
coming and they don't stop coming.
Yeah, they hit the ground running.
Isn't it enough to live for fun? My head...
Your brain gets smart, but your head gets...
I feel that.
Yeah, same.
That's what being a gifted kid is. Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. So dumb. Now I'm just thinking of the death of an NPC, and I'm sad. Like,
Good. Do you want to bring it up on the murder mystery one?
so
I'm
basically,
curious.
there are a race of people, well, not really a race, but a group of people called Asians. They look mostly like humans with masks on and wearing big cloaks, and kind of give off, like, Order 13 from blah 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 Kingdom Hearts. They really give off that vibe, especially when they get into their little circle thing to talk. And basically, we've recently figured out a way to defeat them, which was foreshadowed in another thing before the guy kind of escaped before it went through. So essentially, you have to create a beam of light strong enough to dissipate them because they're technically immortal beings who keep on going through cycles of escaping the circle of aether and life, technically. So, basically, you create this giant beam of light and energy that goes through them, and if you don't have enough, then you're kind of just stuck there for a while. And so, a character, in order to defeat them, gives up her life by putting her hands on it in order to offer up her life force, and in order to get rid of that other guy's life force. And it's very sad because she's so cool, and I miss her so much. And this also happened right before I got accused of assassination.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, dang, man, they don't even let you have a moment.
Guilty Gears was. But if you'd like to talk about Metal Gear Solid, you can. Because Colonel, I'm dummy thick. My ass keeps alerting the guard. So yeah, you can talk about Metal Gear if you like. But I think we brought up Guilty Gears because of Bridget and the twink that isn't really a twink. Which also, on the opposite scale, there's that one guy from Genshin Impact who is technically considered a Bara, even though he's only the biggest of the skinniest people in that game.
Yes. Ito, I assume.
I don't know his fucking name. All I know is that he's like a yokai or something.
Yeah, Arutaka Ito.
Awesome.
Yeah.
To be fair. That's fair. Also, I don't know a lot about the game. I know some things because we did have the games, but I also didn't play them a lot. And
there's a whole, that game is just so convoluted.
I do know that there is a character named Otacon because he's a nerd. And to my knowledge, and also what I believe, is that him and that specific version of Snake that he's been working with go off and raise a daughter together. And I will not take criticism on that.
Fair.
That is all my
I
knowledge.
know literally nothing but Metal Gear, so like... Yeah.
Colonel. I'm sneaking around, but I keep alerting the guards. Mango in box. Mango in box and plot convoluted.
Yeah, that's everything I know. Congratulations.
Also, there are multiple versions of Snake because he's a clone, if I remember right.
What? Oh, okay.
There's... Yeah, that's a thing. I'm not going to go into it further because I don't know further.
Fair enough.
Liquid Snake, Solid Snake, Waiting for Gas Snake, Plasma Snake. The one guy who's a platinum blonde / white hair who is also technically a snake, I think, but also not. I'm not sure. There's a lot. There's also a lot of murder in that game, too.
Fun.
Yeah. Anyway, I like my drawing so far because it's really funny that, it is the murder of Caesar, but only one person has a knife in this, and I think it's really funny.
Good.
Also, I hate these
Also,
shoes.
You're recreating the murder of Caesar?
Yes, that's why I decided to give up after 4.
That's so fair. Oh my gods.
Yeah. I did say I was recreating a painting.
Yeah, I just didn't know it was that one.
Yeah. I was intending more, but reality kicked in and I was like, no, this is where I stop. This is my stop on the drawing too many characters train.
Well, you did it. You're drawing too many characters.
Live, laugh, lurk.
I only do that when I only had to do that when I was doing my duty in the Florida Man National Guard. Like the Florida National Guard, but we're all Florida Man.
Terrifying.
You're lurking around.
Yep. That's how you do it.
Yeah. God, I don't know how to draw fucking shoes! I'm dying. I'm not. But I am. But I'm not.
That's you know what, same.
Oh, by the way, at one point in the game, one of our teammates gets possessed by an Asian. So that was an entire thing where I thought it was a betrayal moment, but also it wasn't. Betrayal came later, though. Not from that character, but I was eventually betrayed.
Damn.
Yeah. Sometimes I still wonder what happened to the one guy who was like, hey, something's fishy's going up and I'm worried. He was also crystal brave, but also I don't know what happened to him. I hope he's okay. And that he didn't stick around. Because otherwise, he'd be dead. And I don't want more of my NPCs to die, even though I know one that I've pathetically given my heart and knows will die.
Oh?
Yeah, there's a character
Someone
that it was very easy to learn about his death because anytime you look him up, especially on TikTok, there's memorial videos from him, and come on, guys, we can save him this time for whenever people are going in to do like the dungeon for it, and it's like, So there was no way I wasn't going to learn about the fact that he dies, because I enjoy spoiling things for myself by just looking up characters I like online.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, give him your heart anyways. While
I
you have.
have! He's like a little too thin to be a himbo, but also I love him, and he loves me.
Good.
He gave me a fucking mount.
Aw.
I love him.
This is
He's also the person who,
adorable and sad.
yeah, he's the person who we ran to after we got accused of murder and went to the frozen wasteland. It was like, hey, you've trusted me before and all this, right? Can we stay here? And he's like, yeah, I can help you get into the city and have you stay in my family's home. And it's like, thank you.
Oh, wow, okay. Great.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's also like the first person who actually started helping us get like allies within this frozen wasteland of fuck you. We're busy with our dragon problem. So it's like he's the best, and he got us hot chocolate.
Yeah, okay, those are
Just
so
let it all out.
I don't want him to die. And the thing is that I know that he dies protecting us. He dies protecting us.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah. A smile better suits a hero.
Pat.
Your father's too emotional about boys.
You know what, Sam?
It runs in the family.
Yeah.
He may not be the most attractive boy, but he is in my heart.
He's attractive if you like him. That's how
Yeah.
that works.
Don't you do this to me! I know how this joke goes. I'll just be sad. I haven't even gotten to the point where he dies for me. I just know that he will.
Oh, when you do, you're gonna
Maybe
be
we can
just
save him next
destroyed.
time. I'm having too much fun with this.
And your character doesn't even know.
Not yet. Anyway, at one point, some of my allies get accused of being dragon heretics. And so, in order to, like, save them, we have to go into court and be like, hey, let's do a trial by combat, because the logic of that is that whoever wins is clearly the one in the right. And
course.
because one of our
Yeah,
allies
that makes
isn't a
sense.
fighter, even though she tried to be one for a little bit, she was not good at it. So she was able to summon me as her champion. So me and my adopted 17-year-old child in this game beat up some guys. And then at the end of it, the character came over and was like, good job, I believe in you. I got you a black chocobo. Because believe in you and you deserve a reward. And then one of the guys are like, sir, you're not supposed to have a bird in here. It has to wait outside. It's a beautiful scene. And also right before it, he was like, I believe in you. If you ever feel like you're not in the right spirits, look to me and I will be cheering the loudest for you.
Oh, marry me.
Yeah. It's like, he's the biggest ray of sunshine in this entire frozen land, and I love him.
I'm glad nothing bad's gonna happen to him.
Definitely nothing bad is ever going to happen to him, and I'm not going to regret
No.
placing my love into this man.
Oh, never.
Wait, that's the wrong channel. Delete.
How dare you?
I'm too emotional about men.
You know, same.
Me?
Look at him. He has my whole heart.
Hey, Mango.
Yeah.
Family Reminder is gonna die.
Why do you have to do that to your father?
How's the sprites going?
Oh, yeah, sprites are doing great.
They look great.
Yeah, I'm quite proud of this one personally.
That is the best that I'm going to do with that shoe. I need to finish off that hand in the back there. So I'm pretty sure it's no longer in correct proportions with the rest of the body.
Oof.
But it would
Also,
also
it might
be
depend.
extremely funny if I just dropped, like, black onto it. So that looked exactly the same. I'm not.
Do it.
No.
Aw.
Do it.
Are you sure? You're gonna
Yes.
have to remember this decision when Art Crit comes back round.
Yeah. No, don't listen to me. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Are you
Do
sure?
it.
The drop bucket wouldn't work as well. Oh well, I'll just draw over it as exactly as I can. This is a goofy looking hand right beside a half decent looking hand.
My favorite.
You know how sometimes when I just draw a hand, it's like little spikes attached to an arm?
Mhm.
It's that.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, I finished outlining 2 people.
Whoa.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm taking a break from my models so I can go and eat a little bit of dinner.
That's good.
That is smart.
Yeah.
I've drawn 2 people in a hand.
I'm proud of you anyway.
Thank you. I should save. Save as.
I gave up on sprites a while ago. I'm just drawing random characters.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What did you send me? Okay, that's an easy question to answer. Alright, I sent in this server. Anyway, let me go over to this one so that's more accessible.
Accessibility in our servers? Unlikely.
Extremely likely, actually.
Yeah. A lot more likely than one would assume of a random Discord server. Ooh, that's nice. And fair enough. Take a break. Do you see the art? Why did you
That's
guess?
so good.
Thank you. You can also see why I
Okay.
gave up on drawing more
Yeah.
characters.
No, I super can.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it looks great.
You
I
say it
love.
as
I
someone
love when
who,
you did that one section.
yeah, that one section, perfect.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
I think
No notes.
Listen, there's a small group of people who are allowed to see it before everyone else can.
I know.
Yeah.
Do I not get to
I hope
see
you know
it?
this is very suspicious.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You see, this is why whenever I'm doing art crit, I basically show nobody ever.
Listen, I want to
So
show my
that way, I
family.
feel when I'm being secretive, it's less suspicious.
The thing is that I don't know how to do that. I need other people's eyes on it sometimes, and I've decided that my partners and my adopted children are allowed to see it.
And not
thing
me,
is,
for
like,
no particular reason.
Yeah, no particular reason. You're just
No,
not part of the
Charlie-
poly, so you're not allowed to see.
It's gonna be extra funny if you didn't get me, and this is like suspicious for no reason.
Yeah,
But you know,
yeah. You see,
But
the
I think,
thing is that I got JJ.
I'm unreliable. I'm too close to JJ, so I can't see it.
Yes, exactly.
I was also just gonna say, like, I'm not. I didn't enter this month. I'm completely safe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You, I assume, probably entered this month. Therefore,
Therefore, you are
I've
not.
entered every single month. I don't think there's been a single month that I've stepped down from.
Same.
damn.
Same.
Yeah,
We have problems,
we do.
but also I don't think either of us are going to change. We're not seeking help with our problem. Sometimes
No,
we'll
we're
seek
not.
help from each other, but for the most part, we're not seeking help.
There's only been like maybe 1 or 2 times that I've considered maybe not joining,
Same.
and then I do it anyway.
Yeah.
Like I considered not joining for February because I did a whole gosh darn like surgery thing, but then I did it anyway. So,
Yeah. Same with me last month.
Yeah.
It turns out that both of us just aren't able to say no to this. It feels like an obligation that we have stepped up for, even though it's not. It's super not. We're just stubborn.
Yeah, I think for the most part, it's really just us being stubborn. I do feel like an additional level of responsibility because art crit was literally my idea.
Yeah, you're in
1,000
charge of
years
it.
ago. Yeah, and so like I would always at the very least have to set up like, the exchange for everybody. And it's like, well, if I'm already here, might as well
Yeah.
put my name to that.
We have problems.
We do. Oh my god, do we?
Oh my god, do we have so many fucking problems?
I wish we were
Final
more
Fantasy
easily employed.
XIV. I haven't actually played Mass Effect yet, but I have considered it, mostly because the overlap between Mass Effect and Dragon Age. However, a lot of the problems that I have with, like, some of the storytelling aspects with, like, Dragon Age and Mass Effect, I don't have to worry that much about when playing Final Fantasy XIV. Because, like, there are some natural problems that come with Final Fantasy XIV, but, for the most part, it doesn't matter which race you choose, and you don't really have to worry about romancing characters because that's not allowed, even though a lot of us are like, here, my heart, take it, character. And also just,
There's the
like,
guy that's going to die.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Take your time, Jix. We're just gonna be rambling because I've been paying points to ramble. And also just the fact that I'm allowed to just be a pretty boy who does silly things from sometimes. And whenever you take, like, side quests and all that, it's not, like, the most major thing ever. You can just go down a hole and it's kind of fun. And also there's just, like, an entire community of other people on the servers with you. So if you get stuck somewhere, it's not the end of the world. You basically just have to reach out and be like, hey, can I have help, please? And also just, like, the community is also, like, on average, really nice and supportive. So, like, even if you die in a dungeon, it's not like, oh, fuck, you're such a noob. Why did you even come here? It's more like, yeah, that happens. Anyway, let's try again.
And believe it or not, that is because, unlike with WoW, if you, like, I was like, what was it? Like, you lose, like, in a dungeon, it's a lot harder to just do it over again.
Yeah. It also really helps to, like, within the dungeon itself, it has teleportation points depending on how long it is. So, like, there's shortcuts that are just like, okay, you died here. Do you want to take the shortcut to run back? And it's like, yeah, please.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, it's mechanics kind of determine behavior as well in a game system.
Yeah, this game is rather forgiving for the most part. And, like, if you fail some specific quest that you're, like, that you have to level sync for, and then you come back to it, it's like, okay, do you want to try this normal? Do you want to try this easy? Or do you want to try it very easy? And very rarely have I been like, you know what, I really need the very easy. It was like one quest being a thaumaturge where I had to do that, and it was like, thank you for allowing me to continue the story. So, like, this game is fairly nice and very forgiving, and I appreciate it, and most of the community is also really nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And also, there's just a bunch of, like, characters in it that even if you don't like some of the NPCs, you will eventually find an NPC that you're like, this is the one I love.
And thank goodness nothing bad's gonna happen to them.
Yeah, like, this character is definitely not going to go into a cryo sleep for a very, very long time, and I have no idea when I'll be able to see them again.
Oh, yeah, of course not.
Of course not.
No,
That just
that wouldn't happen.
That's also a completely different character that a lot of people love. And I know he comes
Oh.
back, but I don't know when he comes back.
In
It
your
also...
dreams.
Yeah. He's also just really cute. And he's also a character who just really likes you as well.
They
Like
should let
he-
you kiss him.
Yes.
Yeah, they should let you kiss characters in this game.
I feel like
I think every game
most
should let
games
you
would be
kiss
improved. You can kiss the characters.
Yeah. Also, there's Catboys in this game and Bunny Boys as well, so obviously, it's a great game.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And then you can also just
Got
be
it.
a little potato that can destroy God.
As you should be.
Yeah. And then there's also, like, you can be a lion man.
Ooh.
Yeah. You can also buy a house if you want to. I currently cannot afford a house, so I have an apartment, and by lucky chance, I got apartment 69.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. I was so proud of it. Because, like, one of the other players in the games, I hung out with them for a while, and we tried to figure out if I was able to do gardening in their home, and the answer was no. Aside from, nice! And so, all it turns out that I'm allowed to do is water their plants, and that's about it. And then eventually, after a long time of just hanging out, they gave me a lot of gil, so it's like, I'm going to get myself a fucking apartment. And so I did. And there is not much to it. Most of the furniture I put in there, I made myself. So there's not much reason to hang out in there right now, but it's nice to have a home.
Indeed.
Yeah, and it's still very funny that I managed to get 69 on complete accident. It was great.
You're just that good.
Yeah, I am. It also does not help that I make this Soci very horny, but we'll get into that a different day, and not on this. And also probably not on my streams.
Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to get into that right now?
Yes. Because
Okay.
I might break terms of service.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He's a good hoe.
I'm Ace, so I sometimes forget that people are just like this, and not
Yeah.
for like a bit.
Yeah.
This is a serious thing that people are.
Yes, I am for realsy horny sometimes. I know, controversial.
Controversial. Why
Yeah.
would you do that?
I don't know. Sometimes I wonder why I'm allowed to be like this, and then I remember, I'm gay and traumatized.
Mm.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Oh, one of the other things about this particular character is that in his backstory, I've decided that he was adopted by a Lalafell woman, and for most of his life before, like, the start of the game, he lived on an island of Lalafells as an Elezen, and I would like to inform you that Lalafells are extremely small people, and after being allowed to slightly redesign him a bit, he's now on the tallest setting of an Elezen, so you can imagine how well he fits in there. Not well.
Oh,
He has to
no.
live in a cage because most of the Lalafells there don't know how to make a building big enough to fit him. And so they've just decided, you know what, instead of trying to guess at how big you are going to get, we're just not going to make one bigger. Yeah.
No.
So eventually he leaves to become an adventurer because, within game lore, 5 years ago, there was the Calamity, which was a very massive war thing that was going on with, like, the Guardian Empire and the rest of Eorzea, which is the continent you live on. And so the moon fucking explodes to reveal a dragon within it that terrorizes for a bit before the scions of the time, put it the fuck back in the moon. And during that time, there was, like, a lot of meteors and stuff flying around and all that, so, yeah, Bahamut came out of the moon. And so I've decided that during, like, that day in particular, you know, I've decided that since he lives on, like, an island and all that, that, it doesn't have, like, great places for people to go hide and all that. And since he already can't fit in a building and he lives in a cave, his first instinct, instead of to go into the underground tunnels that the Lalafells can go into, he runs back into his cave. And you know what happens when a lot of things are hitting the ground? It kind of creates, like, a little earthquakes and stuff that, you know, kind of ends up causing a cave collapse. So he gets to be in there for a while.
Oh, poor boy.
It is not bad, it just shows that Final Fantasy likes to have repeating elements, which also makes it easier to identify things within the series. So, you know, Bahamut gets reused, but slightly different style. It happens. So yeah, one of the cause and effects of Valentine leaving the island is, you know, it's probably not safe for you to stay here if another thing like that fucking happens, so, you should probably find a new place to settle down. I'm sorry, son. And so it's like, okay. And then I've decided that the starting outfit that you get for being an Elezen male was actually one of his father's before he died. And so, here's some adventuring gear. Here's some money. Here's a bow. Stay safe. Here's a boat to get to a mainland. Please don't go to Ul'dah. You will probably die there. But you know what Gridania has? A lot of Elezen. Maybe you can learn more about your family from one of them. You can't because they're... because I've decided that they're one of the Elezens that lived in the place that's trying to invade, and they escaped from there. You know, just normal lore stuff that you give your characters, you know.
Of course.
Of course. Also, I've decided that he had dads, and,
Good.
unfortunately for him, they died the same day he was born, and that the
No.
Lalafell who was raising him, was the one who helped get him out of the dying father. And so she
Diversity
feels
wins.
diversity wins. Your father has died in a fight with a creature on the island they had no way to prepare for because it's a very, very specific local species.
Yeah, diversity win.
Diversity wins. Your parents are dead, but they were gay and one was trans.
Diversity win.
I'm
Deceased parents are trans and gay.
Yeah, I'm totally normal about all this. I've also decided that because of the fact that he's like a dusk white or whatever that specific name for that specific elf faction type thing is, basically you can decide some of the stats based on like, are they this kind of an Elzen or this kind of a Zelzen? And basically I chose the one that is more of a drow. So basically they're allowed to be purple and dark. And I decided that he can blush purple because I am a whore like that.
Yeah, obviously.
It's almost like CO and Homestuck have influenced me in this sort of way.
Weird. Wouldn't have guessed.
Who could have guessed that getting into a relationship with someone who draws their tacos with blue blush would affect me into making my elf boy have purple blush? Controversial.
Okay, alright. But counterpoint.
Counterpoint.
Purple/blue blush is hella rad.
It is hella
True.
rad. And I would like to point out that I'm one of the people who don't really enjoy like putting makeup on my characters because it just doesn't look right staring at them after a while. Especially when they're like running around and all that stuff. But this is one of the few things where it's like, yeah, him having purple blush on it to show that he blushes purple, this works out. I can adjust to this. I don't know, it's just something where it's like, I don't know, some games just don't do makeup good, especially when you have to run around as that character in multiple lightings and stuff, where eventually you just look at your character and go, why did I do this? Can I take it off? I can't. This is permanent. My character is just permanently looking like this. God damn it. Which is also one of the reasons why I enjoy the black... What is it called? The one place in Dragon Age where you can go and change your character's entire fucking face. It is very
I don't know, I
convenient.
just feel like some sacrifices need to be made.
Yeah. It's like, you don't look right. I have to change your face. Yeah, the Black Emporium. That's a place you can go and make your character look better if they don't look right. Because the McElroys may be able to do Monster Factory, but I cannot.
Oh, that attitude.
Exactly, I can't. This is my attitude. I don't want to look at this for forever. Like, unless I'm making a character to look specifically like that on purpose, I can't.
Weak.
I am.
Cool.
We've solved that problem.
All right, next topic.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm done trying to art this. I'm done. I'm tired. We've managed to get
Are
through.
you done as in done for now, or done as in
Done
you're
for
not gonna
now.
touch this piece again?
Done for now. I need to touch this piece later. But as of right now, I sketched a new person. I lined out 2 of them and started on the one that I sketched out today. I'm tired.
You did really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks great.
Yeah.
Super good.
I agree.
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's great.
Also, you are right. I do appreciate how Final Fantasy XIV does have the multiple lightings and character creation. It does really help with like, okay, does my character look right? Let's change it to this other setting. Oh, wow. They are super pale now that I'm looking at them like this.
This isn't quite like your Final Fantasy stuff because I don't play the game. But that does remind me of The Sims a little bit. Specifically the builder, the build mode that you can do, there's
Oh,
different
yeah.
options to see like the house in like various times of day, and it's super helpful because The Sims has a shitting lighting system.
Yeah.
So knowing how dark everything is actually really helpful.
And also
And I
just
think just in
seeing
general,
seeing how ugly it looks in the light.
oh yeah, for sure. It's really helpful. I think more various modes of gameplay should have like different lighting options. Also, I think more games should like not use total darkness because I hate it and it sucks.
Yeah. I do appreciate that in Final Fantasy XIV as well, where it's not total darkness when the night cycle comes around. It's still pretty dark, but there's like you can still see things and run around in places.
Nice.
Yeah, because like it has its own like internal clock thing, which also influences like some of the rare items to get and also like fishing times. So that's another thing to that exists in the game. Also, I do kind of enjoy how like leveling, especially for the different classes, are their own thing. I can appreciate it. Sometimes it's infuriating because you have to go back and level them up separately. But also like it helps that like my gathering skills are divided up into different things so that I can find things specifically where they are instead of just the entire list of being like, okay, here's all the things you can get, while also having to change out the weapons and stuff in order to collect them. I don't know, it's just kind of nice.
Yeah.
And it also means that once you get to a specific level in a different class, you're able to access things that you wouldn't for lower levels. It is a great. Fair enough. It can be infuriating times, but it also, like, it's interesting, you know? However, there is something that I noticed in which two classes that are part of a subclass level up at the same time and makes it very funny because you could be leveling one up and then never playing the other class. The Scholar and the Summoner, which one is a healing class and the other is a damage per second class or whatever it is. DPS, damage per second, yeah. So it's very funny where you can be like a healer over here and then you also somehow are leveling up your damage class as well. It's kind of funny. And I think that the reason why that is because when you level up your subclass, it also levels up the main part of the class. And since they both share the same like main part of the class, they both level up. It's just a fun little quirk that I've noticed.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That is a fun little quirk.
And each of the like classes and stuff have their own storyline for like leveling up that class. So it's also kind of, I think that's why I am more forgiving of the fact that you have to level them up individually, is because they have their own storylines.
Yeah.
Ow. I think I should probably end the stream, at least on my end, because my body, now that I'm done with art, is like, hey, can you take care of me for a goddamn minute? And it's like, ow.
Yeah, you should probably do that.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a joke, but no, you really should actually.
Do y'all want to show yourself before I end stream?
Sure. I'll go first because no one else has said anything.
Do I have a thing for you?
I doubt it.
I do.
Damn, you do. Never mind. Yeah, I'm xj047 underscore on literally only Twitch because Twitch hates 5-letter long usernames.
It does.
I'm probably just gonna continue streaming for at least like 20-30 minutes after this.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I do things.
Like art. Like you're currently doing now.
Yeah.
Go watch him.
I'm trying.
You should write into that after this.
Yeah, I'll raid you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
It's probably going to be about the same amount of people, but
It's
they'll all
fair.
be with you now.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I do.
Alex, do you want to go next?
Sure. And let's see, do I have one for me?
You should.
Yeah. Maslow_in_need and on Twitter. It was like, but you can usually find me in the servers of these three lovely people. Especially it's like my darling boyfriend whose thing we're on.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. So support him. And all the others.
Yeah.
I had my message queued up, just waiting.
I did too, and then I accidentally pressed enter while readjusting in my seat.
I love it. Beautiful, perfect. Yeah, I'll go next since my name is already in there. Hi, I'm Charlie, Clues and Spells at Twitch. I do art and I do videos games sometimes. I think I'm probably going to be doing the very last of Unpacking at some point tomorrow. So if you like cute little indie games, you should come and hang out with me.
Yeah.
But like not right now. We're gonna be hanging out with Ben right now.
Yeah.
Currently.
And for all of you who are here or somehow listening to this somewhere else, I'm absolutely_mango here on Twitch. I mostly do art and gaming, and today I was technically doing art, but I was also doing the fun thing of sometimes just collecting a bunch of people and making them have conversations with me sometimes. In the extremely ridiculously long name that I've given this thing, because people kept encouraging it to be longer, Fictional Murders you probably haven't heard of. True crime, not.
Oh, it expanded since last time. I heard it. Great.
Yeah.
We should make it longer for each episode.
It doesn't help that this one is labeled, also has the addition of 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that I've also decided that next time it might be 3 Electric Jubilee.
Good.
And I entirely blame Tincast for that part. Anyway.
Also, I would like to say, just, Beth said, that it was a fun podcast stream.
Aw, thank you.
On, from my end.
Yeah, on my end, it's a lot more visually boring, aside from the jumping of my character's avatar.
Oh, I think that's fun, though.
Yeah.
It is.
You only get indication of when I'm talking.
The entire time, still.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you all for being here, and if you want to continue listening to this group, probably continue listening over at Ben's stream. Yeah, we're gonna be heading over there while I eventually dip out. Anyway, bye stream!
Bye, but not mine.
But also, not really. I'm gonna be here for at least a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Bye!
Bye.